Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Norse's 8-legged critters, and today's going to be a fantastic.
I'm sorry. Number 5, my pick is the Grammostola rosea, more commonly known as the Chilean rose-hair tarantula. So let's take a look at this beautiful species. Look how beautiful.
The reason why we picked the Grammostola rosea at number 5 is that it's a wonderful species to own. Very hardy species at that, great eaters. The con about this tarantula right here is that they do get to a point where they fast. They stop eating. Again, this is a very, very hardy species. Of course, they do have the urticating hairs. My rosea has never thrown a threat posture at me, has never kicked urticating hairs at me. It's been very laid back. In fact, most of the time when I open up the enclosure, she's finding her way out. I kind of keep the substrate about halfway between, here she comes. You wanna go back in, honey? No? There you go. I keep the species here between 65 to 75% humidity, and with like all the rest of my tarantulas, just basic 75 to 80 degrees. Around winter time, it gets a little bit more cooler, but a wonderful, wonderful species. Adult size, they get about, oops, sorry about that. Adult size, they get about 5 inches. This tarantula, some people say that this tarantula does have mood swings, again. But this one, on my hands, never once. And guys, that's the reason why we picked the rosea at number 5.
Coming in at number 4, my pick is the Brachypelma, more commonly known as the Honduran curly hair tarantula. Let's pop this open and take a look at this beautiful species.
So the reason why we picked this lovely lady right here at number 4, never once has she ever kicked urticating hairs at me or threat posture. One thing about this lovely lady right here, if you look inside her enclosure, she's an absolutely fantastic weber. Also one that would actually move a lot of things in there with her plants, water dishes. She'd like to tip over a lot of things, but a lovely species. I mean, if you can, she's got lovely curly hairs on her, and just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful tarantula. This girl right here, keep about half her substrate wet, about 65 to about 70% humidity, excuse me, and just like all my other tarantulas, about 75 to 80 degrees to, you know, sometimes in the summer even more. So yeah, guys, I definitely want you guys to take a look at this tarantula right here, especially if you're getting new into the hobby, the Honduran curly hair.
Number 3, the Brachypelma emilia, also more commonly known as the Mexican red leg tarantula. So let's take a beautiful look at this species.
Okay guys, so the reason why we picked this at number 3, I mean, how can you absolutely go wrong with this coloration of this tarantula? It basically looks like she's almost wearing a black mask. With the red around the legs is absolutely gorgeous. This tarantula right here has never once thrown threat posture at me as well, or kicked urticating hairs. I keep this tarantula about 60 to 70% humidity. So basically I just wet one side of the substrate. This tarantula here, I read that can probably get about 6 inches. Right now she's close to 4. And the good news about this tarantula is she molted for me last week. So let's see if she is hungry. Ready? All right, so we'll pick that out later on. Hopefully, these guys can be a bit skittish. So right there, as you can see, she didn't take her food. One thing I noticed about this tarantula right here is sometimes when you do pick up the enclosure, she does kind of bolt. So with me kind of bringing her upstairs so I can get decent lighting for her, it looks like she's kind of like passing on the food, but I can almost guarantee you once this light goes off, she might be looking for it right now. She will eat. Well guys, I was hoping that maybe she would land into some food right there, but this is the Brachypelma emilia. Also known as the Mexican red leg.
And at number 2, my pick, the Brachypelma smithii, more commonly known as the Mexican red knee tarantula. Alright, let's pop this open and take a look.
Okay guys, so the reason why we picked the Smith at number 2, I mean, how can you go wrong with the classic? Known for its docile. Of course, they do have urticulating hairs. Mine never actually really kicked any kind of urticulating hairs at me. Great eater, very hardy tarantula. Again, this is one of the classics everybody absolutely loves, and I really recommend everybody getting them to their hobby if you do not have one. Again, this is probably a tie between the 3 that I put up there. The Mexican, the Brachypelma, the emilia, with the Honduran curly hair, with this red knee. I mean, it's just a match made in heaven. I mean, they're just great tarantulas to have. Again, if you don't have this one, I highly recommend you guys getting one. This little fella actually molted on me last week with my Brachypelma emilia. And but the only con about this tarantula so far is how slow they grow and how long they can be in mold. Again, this is with my experience. This is the biggest one I own as of right now. She's probably roughly about 3 inches, give or take. But guys, number 2, the red knee. How can you go wrong? The classic. Number 1, I'm sure everybody already guessed. The Grammostola pulchra, the Brazilian black, the black lab of tarantulas. This right here is the most docile species that I've owned. Never kicks hairs, comes wandering around every time you open the closure. Let's go ahead and take a look at this beautiful species. We have an empty bed. Let's go ahead and turn. So obviously, why did we pick this as a number 1? Obviously, how docile they are. I have a male downstairs that's the same way as her. Like I said, every time I open up the enclosure, she's willing to come out, take a look around to see what's going on. I wet about half of her substrate, again, about 60 to 70% humidity. Great eater, con about it, very slow grower. Another thing, very inexpensive tarantula. For a sling, I think you could pay anywhere between $65 to $75 per tarantula on these guys. If there's a tarantula out there that I would hope, and I don't condone anybody holding their tarantulas, well, you're looking at it right here. Very laid back, such a sweetheart. In fact, I picked her up about, I would say about 3 weeks ago. And by the looks of it, she looks like she's in a heavy primo. I did try to feed her when I did get her, and she kind of passed up on the food. And as you can see, here she comes wandering out right now. Just, you know, she loves to see what's going on with her environment. I mean, just a complete sweetheart. I've actually had to hold her once because of this right here again. I don't, you know, like I said, I don't ever recommend anybody holding their tarantulas, even though if they do, you know, I'm not a person that, you know, would actually judge on that. So, and as you can see, here she comes. Just a complete sweetheart. And she's probably roughly about 4 to 5 inches, give or take. And there you go. Very, very beautiful. All right, guys, so this right here will be our number 1 pick. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, this was my top 5 beginner species in my mind that would actually be a great tarantula to own to any kind of new beginner. Other ones that almost made the list was actually the Grammostola poker piece, the chocolate knee, the Avicularia, pink-toed tarantula, also the Texas tan, Arizona blonde, and I believe green bottle blue. The green bottle blue, I think, would be a kind of a next step, only because they're urticating hairs. They do kick a lot of urticating hairs in their speed. Again, if this is something that you guys would like to mix around into the comments below, feel free to do so, or even add your own. But I want to give special thanks for the help to
Venom Girl
and
Spider Girl,
and I hope to see you on the next one.